YTD samples tastes from around the globe, from Bangladesh to Bangkok. Thailand lies in Southeast Asia and is home to nearly 68 million people. Its cuisine blends five essential tastes: sweet, sour, spicy, bitter, and salty. While its dishes almost always feature rice, its snacks come in many wide varieties. Some of those snacks have traveled thousands of miles to get to our mouths. And it's all happening right now in this international edition of You Tried It! You Tried That! Thailand edition. I'm Nick Novak with my pal Shad Hancock.
Howdy.
Nick Geiger.
Hello there.
So, guys, Chad, you've been to Thailand, correct?
Yes, just Bangkok.
And did you, in fact, fight M. Bison?
Is he from Thailand? I thought he isn't he played by a white guy?
You do fight him in Thailand. I don't know. That's one thing I remember about.
I barely remember Street Fighter. I barely remember. I was more of a Mortal Kombat boy.
But in the game, I remember that you fight him in Thailand for whatever reason.
Yeah, no M. Bison sightings while I was there.
So what do you were stuck in waiting for a flight or something?
Yeah, well, so it was we went to Bangkok for as part of a layover. So it was when we were heading to Bhutan. And when you go to Bhutan, the flights are notoriously flaky, like they could get canceled or rescheduled. So they tell you to, in your layover city, spend like a couple days on either end. So we had like about a day and a half in Bangkok on the way out and on the way back. So we didn't really explore any of the rest of Thailand, although I would like to go back. But Bangkok itself, I thought it was like a really great city. I had heard bad things about it from other people that went, but we had a great time there. There's a couple things that stood out. First of all, the immigration line was insane. I don't know if it's always like this, but we waited like well over 2 hours after getting off our plane just to get through immigration. And I remember the only notable thing I remember about that, other than just this huge line and just being like super annoyed and ready to get through it, was there was a couple that we saw, and we saw them like sort of first when they got into the line, and they sort of stood out because it was let's just say an older white gentleman, maybe 60s, and then a very petite, skinny, large-breasted Asian woman who was maybe 25, like tops. And you could tell they were together, whatever. But the funny part was she was clearly a Thai citizen because she was able to go in the Thai citizen immigration line, which was very, very short. And then he, as a non-Thai, had to wait in the huge sprawling line like the rest of us. And I remember like we saw her on the other end, just like looking so bored on her cell phone. And so I was like making all these jokes, and Janet was just saying to me the whole time, like, "You're just jealous. You're just jealous because this guy's such a player."
Were you?
I mean, yes. No, because I was with my wife, in line, like we were spending time together. I wasn't like she didn't ditch me to go into the short line.
I was saying the difference between Chad and the two of us, Novak, is that his wife actually listens to this podcast, so he has to say stuff like that.
So it was a mail order bride situation?
That's what we wondered. So the guy, that was my guess, was that it was maybe it was a mail order bride, but then we were having this debate, like, well, maybe he was just on vacation and just, you never know where you're going to find love. But if I was a betting man, I would say mail order bride. So that was our first impression. But I will say, like, the food that we had everywhere was absolutely outstanding, which kind of makes me excited that we're going to be trying some Thai snacks, even though I don't know if I'm going to like all of these. But just all the street food we had was great. One of the best things I've ever had in my life was when we were in the Chinatown in Bangkok. There's a guy who just had like a little street cart, just like a small, almost hot dog stand style cart. We saw a bunch of people crowded around it, and that's always a good sign. And we go up, and all he's making is just like a crepe with some like fried eggs inside of it, and then he just douches it in condensed milk. And like that's it. That's what you eat. Or you can all optionally get like bananas or chocolate on it or something. And it was so good. It was so good. I guess it's fairly popular in Southeast Asia because we saw some of them when we were in Laos too, and so I had to make sure to grab
What's
that.
Thai slang for douched in milk?
So wait, it was a crepe with eggs doused in milk and covered with bananas?
If you got the bananas, they would also go inside the crepe, so they like folded the crepe
Oh, okay.
into like a square shape, and then he would
Got it.
cut it up and just stick a bunch of toothpicks in it, and then you would just take the pieces out and eat
You
the
know, I
toothpicks.
think they have. Now that you say that, they just opened up a new place in this like. There's kind of a fancy food court across from where I work, and I think I can't remember the name of it. I'll have to look it up and then report back. But I think that's what they serve there. It's like a paper thin crepe, like in a square, folded up in a square,
Yeah.
and then inside is food. Yeah, no, I've had one. They're pretty good. I'm sure they're not as good as the one you had in actual Thailand, but
Oh, I would rate it as better than every mail order bride. So that's the scale I would use.
what about the female order brides you've tried?
Yeah. That doesn't make sense.
You would appear to be probably a seedy character there if you were looking as you currently do, which is growing a big grizzly beard out. And you mentioned before we came on that
Right.
part of the reason you don't like this beard is because you're finding pieces of beard in your food. So
No,
as a
no, that's not what I said. I said I'm finding a lot of food in my beard. Like the beard gets in my food as I'm eating. Like I was having some broccoli cheddar soup tonight, and it's just after taking spoonfuls of the soup to my mouth, it's just all in the mustache and beard, and then I gotta actually like wash my face, which I don't really like to do.
That's really gross,
Why would
Chad.
you want to be clean?
I'm not man enough to grow a beard, so I know you, Geiger. You have one of the bushier, big old bushy goatees that is a trademark of yours. Now, have you had trouble with the collection of food in said goatee?
Oh God, yeah. I mean, I would eat like pizza and get cheese stuck in there constantly. Soup is a bad one, like Chad said, to get soup remnants. What I've noticed now when I'm like, I don't like. I have a bushy beard because I hate shaving and trimming anything, so I just kind of let it go. And I have like the mustache part that I didn't always used to have is like too long now, and I'm just too lazy to cut it. And like when I drink, like drops of water and coffee or whatever are like dripping off the end of my mustache. So I have to,
Yeah,
like,
that's been happening to me lately.
lick
Yeah.
the hair, and that's just nasty. And then I feel like I have to wipe my mouth. It's just a pain. I should just shave everything off. I just look like a fat 12-year-old if I shave my beard off, so I don't.
I'm mostly just growing my beard out because I'm on paternity leave and I'm super lazy. So I'll probably shave
Right.
it once I actually have to go back to work.
Geiger, did you find that when you had your beard shorter, that you got more activity in terms of like people wanting to have you come overseas as a mail order bride?
Yes. Yes, in the biz that's called activity when you're a prostitute, and they're asking you. My activity level picked up quite a bit.
Did your profile get more hits on mailorderbride.com or it was MALE?
Male, yeah, no, I mean it depends. It depends on what people like. There's some people that really like the tickling sensation of a unkempt beard, and some people like the smooth face suave guy. It just really depends. I got to grow it all the way out or nothing at all. No, like I'll say, I saw you try to grow a beard one time, and it was one of the weirder things I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, it can't be unseen, right? Right. I literally didn't go to any countries that year that I was growing that beard out. There wasn't a single dude who wanted me to come over and marry him. It was super upsetting. For some reason, our idea, the mail order bride that we are we marrying the people, or are we just going over and sleeping with them?
Well, I
and
mean,
dumping
you
them?
can't
What
be
are
a
we doing?
bride without being officially married, right?
But it seems like we're on a site that we're meeting a bunch of different people. What's it?
I just feel like, before I had this beard, like this beard has definitely increased my activity. Before that, I was always a mail order bridesmaid, never a mail order bride. So,
Well played.
so since this is a food podcast, I will say the if you guys want to hear the grossest thing I saw in Thailand, which was
Maybe
we went to the local the local market, which whenever you're in another country, you always got to go to the market. It's usually one of the most interesting things, especially in like developing countries and stuff like that. But so we're wandering around the market, and there's always like you can buy fresh fruits, veggies, like, or I don't know how fresh they are, and then like there's just places you walk in and there's just like piles of fish and like all sorts of other stuff. And so then we go around a corner and we see a basket that is full of like frogs. So somebody's selling like, and they're still alive. They're just kind of like hopping around inside this basket. So somebody's selling frogs. But the next stall over, also frogs, but with the skin removed, and the frogs were still alive.
What?
So there's like this pile of all these like skinless, you just see like the muscles structure of the frogs, and like their like arms and legs were tied up and they were like still like writhing around. Like it honestly looked like a frog inside of like a skin suit trying to break out. It was one of the grossest things I've ever seen.
Froggy skin
so
suit?
We bought 20 and married them.
What, are you supposed to like roast them or something? Like what's the like?
Yeah, sure.
Disgusting.
Yeah. Make frog legs or whatever. I don't know, but I guess they keep them.
Yeah. You could. I don't know. You keep it as a pet. I don't give a fuck.
Well, over in Thailand, that's how they make Reese's cups. It's chocolate on the outside and skinned frog on the inside.
You mean Ribbit's cup?
Oh, you're fired.
That was terrible. That made no sense. I tried.
Hey, take my skin off, buddy.
Diggum. Skinless Diggum. I don't have any skin. Let's do it missionary style. I will haunt your nightmares.
Some of you super confused. This is of course very obviously an impression of Diggum Frog talking to the ladies.
The Thai version of Diggum Frog who has been skinned and wants to have sex with you missionary style. But that's quite a rabbit hole we've gone down.
How much would you guys sign up for a service? Let's say you can quit your own job. You're gonna make triple whatever your salary you make.
Yes.
Triple whatever. I'll quit it. Would you be a skinned frog in Thailand? Would you? You have to be a mail order bridesmaid. So you're gonna be flown over just to stand up in weddings. Would that be?
It's not such a bad gig. You get to dance and drink for free and eat food all the time. Free vacation. Do I have to give a speech about these people?
Yeah.
Yes, and it has to be all improv based only on the way they look.
Look at this chick. She hasn't seen the sun in forever. She's like a pale order bride. Am I right?
You just stand up there. You're like, well, he's clearly out kicking his coverage. And then you just sit down.
Just say that at every wedding, no matter what.
All right, now hold still while your waiter brings by a bucket of wriggling skinless frogs for a first course.
All right, well, let's get into some Thailand snacks. We use a 5-point scale, and we will use them here. It's a love dat, like dat, indifferent to dat, dislike dat, and hate dat. Now, these snacks were smuggled into the United States by a friend and listener of the show, Allison O. And there are a bunch of snacks. I can't imagine why, and a number of our listeners do this, but they really go out of their way to bring a bunch of food from other countries home for us. It seems like a lot of trouble to go through for a podcast that's just sitting here making a bunch of skinless frog cracks. But she did it.
And I think it was quite an ordeal, right? She sent us an email to our Gmail and said that first they went through Turkey, from Thailand to Turkey, then to the USA, and then mailed out all the way to San Francisco.
So these snacks have traveled right around the globe. Let's start with the chips. We'll start with a couple.
These snacks have traveled more than all the mail order brides combined.
We got a couple different types of chips. We'll do first the Lay's hot chili squid flavor because we have a cooling chip after that to cool our palates down. But so all of these packages are, of course, not in English. So they do have some English words on it, like Big Grab is written really large, and Hot Chili Squid flavor is written there. But Allison helped out and gave us a translation for when she bought them. So this is the Lay's Hot Chili Squid flavor, which you, of course, would not find anything like this in the U.S.
These definitely smell like seafood when you open the bag. It's got a weird scent to it. Real quickly, Novak, before we dive in, why don't you explain to them what the rating is? I
did, you asshole.
You did? When did you do that?
Why don't you pay attention when I talk, you piece of shit?
Yeah,
oh, okay. Yeah, I'm on it tonight.
He was too busy off. He was too busy off getting married in a foreign country. Wasn't paying attention. Now I'm trying to wonder: would I get behind a Lay's squid, just like a regular Lay's squid without the hot chili?
Lay's squid? Lay's squid.
That's an odd way to
Lay's
frame
squid
that.
chip?
Like a regular squid flavored chip. That's what you're saying, not the hot chili.
Yeah. No, a squid that had ruffles in it, an actual squid. No,
a lazy
a
squid?
Lay's squid flavored chip. Would you eat like a squid flavored chip like that in general?
Sure.
I think I feel better about it being chili and squid. I think that I'd more likely to want this than a standard squid. Would you lay a squid?
I don't know, but Chad's about to hurl, so I'm just keeping an eye on it.
Oh.
Big fan?
I don't think they're so bad.
Somebody might have laid this squid, and then jizzed all over the chips. I don't know what that means.
Had sex with it? I don't know. I'm confused.
These don't sit right with me.
All right.
Chad looks upset.
Are you gonna? Is this gonna be our first vomit?
I'm not gonna throw up, but there's something about those that is, well, I'll save it for the rating.
Well, why don't you start then? Why don't you start?
Yeah, you got strong feelings.
I don't know. Something about this is like it's like triggering my gag reflexes as it goes down. Like it made my stomach actually like churn a little bit in a very bad way. Maybe it's just not mixing right with the soup that didn't get on my beard earlier. But I actually don't really taste that much chili. Like they're not that spicy. It's very mild spice, which is fine. I like a ruffle, but just this sort of like visceral reaction I'm having. And I tried a second chip to see, and I got the same thing. I don't know. I find them to be really, really gross. And I like squid. So yeah, I think I just based on that reaction, I have to give these a hate dat. I think these are really bad.
Whew. I hate that out of the gate here. I think they're pretty decent actually. They are the consistency of a regular ruffle. So Lay's I don't always think of as having these ruffles in them, but it's more like a ruffle consistency, which is the type of chip consistency I like. I think the chili is a nice touch with the squid. I would definitely eat these again. I'm going to give it a like that. It's not giving me the same reaction as Chad. So we're kind of split far apart here, Geiger. What do you think?
Yeah,
Mr. Chip.
Yeah. I like squid. I like chips. I'm Mr. Squid.
Like squid and chips. Do you like chili?
I do like chili. I like sweetness as well. I like people being sweet to me.
Do you like hot?
Dr. Mail Order Bride.
I like hot. I like the bag that came in. I like everything about this other than the actual taste of the chip. So
frog?
You like
skin
laying
frog?
squids?
Frog?
I like whatever it was that you both just mumbled to me simultaneously. Yeah, the bird, or squiggly frog. It's not bad. I agree. I like the chili. I think without the chili, I wouldn't like the chip. It's actually it's not spicy like Chad said, but it does kind of just sit on your tongue afterward. Like I'm still feeling the spice on my tongue. But I don't really love the squid flavor. Something about it is kind of off-putting, and I don't know what it is. I didn't nearly want to throw up. They're not horrible or anything, but I will give it like a mild dislike then.
Ooh, Mr. Chip.
Yeah.
All right.
Sorry.
Well, let's now that we have that taste in our mouth, let's do the cooling sensation chip.
Are these supposed to be eaten in sequence?
So this is the Lay's cooling sensation melon. Melon what? I gotta look at the
What?
melon
Bingsu.
Bingsu flavor.
Melon
What is Bingsu, do
Bingsu
you
flavor.
know?
What's that?
What the fuck? What the fuck is a Bingsu?
You know, a professional podcast probably would have looked this up.
Bingsu. Oh, I have it here. Bingsu says skinned frog found.
Bingsu is a popular and elaborate snack / dessert in East Asia. So it's like it's like a Korean kind of dessert.
Oh,
Shaved ice.
these are
bizarre. This is one of the more bizarre things I've ever had.
It's like a fruit chip.
What in the world?
So
What?
this is not a ruffle. This is a regular kind.
Oh,
Oh.
It-
Oh,
I was not
like a
interesting.
watermelon chip.
yeah. I was not expecting it to really have any cooling. I thought cooling sensation just was a stupid thing to put on a chip bag, but this really does have a cooling sensation somehow.
You just thought they were picking adjectives?
No, that was a terrible English translation.
Hairy gentleman chip. What? Okay.
They do kind of taste like you can taste maybe a little watermelon, maybe some cantaloupe or honeydew or something.
And they have like a slight.
These are fun.
Not like when I say Altoid, I don't mean it like that. It's not nearly that strong, but a slight like. I don't know, if it's mint, like almost like a menthol type of thing. Like when you breathe in, you kind of feel it.
Yeah, when you're done eating it and you breathe in, it's almost like you just had some kind of a peppermint or gum or something. It's really a super bizarre thing I've never felt after eating a chip. So, Geiger, why don't you start us off, Mr. Chip?
I'm torn because I wanna. I'm really glad I had these because it's so different. It's really kind of neat. The problem is I hate melon. Like I just don't like the taste of cantaloupe. So these don't do it for me. But I think
Mr. Melon.
the chip. I think the chip in general is inventive and definitely cool, and I can see where people would like this. Like if you like watermelon or like cantaloupe, I think these are actually pretty creative and like refreshing. I just don't like that flavor, so it's a dislike that for me, but kind of like a reluctant one because I kind of want to reward the inventiveness, but I have to go on flavor, and I just don't like melon. But it is kind of cool.
All right, Chad, what do you think?
I think these are a very pleasant surprise. I wasn't expecting to like them, and I did. This is one of the first times in a while where it's like the actual taste has gone completely against my expectations. I think these are pretty good, but I like melon. They're fun. They're kind of refreshing. They're totally different than like any other chip that I've had. Like Geiger said, they're cool and cooling. So yeah, I'm gonna give them a like that.
All right. I'm more, a little more aligned with Geiger here. This is like a gimmicky chip, right? This is the like Spencer's gift chip where nobody actually wants it. You just try it. It's like bringing in a mail order bridesmaid for your wedding, which is kind of trendy now, I guess. But really makes no sense. So I liked trying it, but there's no way. I ate about 4 or 5, and I don't want to eat more. I don't know if it's just that for near 40 years, this is not what a chips tasted like for me. So like my mind can't wrap itself around it. But I'm gonna go dislike that. Same with Geiger. I was glad I tried it, but not great. It still is the leader on the board right now, though, because of that early hate. Let's do one more before we do our segment. We'll do the 2 cheese ones last. So let's move on to the fishy treat next, and that is Fish Snack Extreme Hot Cuttlefish flavor.
Taro brand sauce coated.
Now, do you guys traditionally like sweet hot cuttlefish flavor? or
Which one's a cuttlefish? I don't know if I've ever had cuttlefish, actually.
it's the one that like stays in bed afterward and smokes a cigarette with you.
Sure.
Whereas like the other flavor I think is like doesn't call you in the morning fish.
Yeah. One night stand fish.
Whoa.
So these are like very, very thin, thinner than even like I don't know, like a really small pretzel or whatever. They're super thin and really long.
Get ready, Chad.
They are very spicy.
Prepare. Oh my
Well,
gosh.
not very, just no. I was just waiting. I took one bite and I'm like, Chad's gonna hate this. I couldn't wait.
Ooh.
Oh!
Quick, get a cooling chip.
Ooh! Wow. Those are extreme.
Ooh.
Fish snack extreme.
You know who would not be cuddling with you? Anyone after you ate this snack and then breathed in their face. The spicy fish smell.
Wow.
Do you taste the cuttlefish?
Fuck.
I do. I mean, if you chew on it a little bit, it's very chewy. You get the fish, like the seafood type flavor from it. Is this just like fish skin or something that's been flavored?
Oof.
I suppose none of us know. Like...
I'll start. Requirement of this rating is that you need to talk about what type of fish it is. So in this case, this is a fish that it shows up for the date and is not at all like the picture it posted online, and then immediately just starts like complaining about life and complaining about its aunt and uncle like have been mean to their family or something, and so you immediately just want to leave. This is not a fish I would cuddle with at all. I'm gonna give this. It's way too hot. The texture is bizarre. I'm gonna give this a hate dat. I can barely eat any of them because the hot sensation is far too strong. There's really nothing I like about him. Geiger.
So I think this is kind of that girl you're dating that is pretty hot.
Fish.
Oh, that fish you're fucking? That's pretty
Yes,
hot.
you're dating fish.
You know when you're like dating a real fucking hot fish, you're just gripping it by the gills and can't stop fucking it.
She's got those scales from here to forever. Doesn't make sense.
But she's not only she really hot, she's just kind of crazy, and you kind of realize that it's not a good long-term relationship, but you just keep sticking around because she's pretty hot. That's kind of what I feel about this. It is really weird. It is a lot spicier than I would have thought. I like spicy snacks and I like seafood. I objectively understand that this is a weird snack and I don't want to eat a ton of them, but I kind of like them. There's something, I like the heat. I like the seafood part. I wish they weren't chewy. I kind of wish they were like cracker type snacks. So I will give it a like that. Actually, I do kind of like them. I know that's probably an insane. According to you guys, it's pretty insane, but I think I actually sort of like it, and I can't understand why. I don't want to take this snack home to mom and dad, primarily because it's a fish, and I'd have to explain why I'm having sex with it.
You don't have to tell them you're having sex with the fish.
I don't mind it.
That's what you do when you take dates home to your parents, is talk about the sex you're having.
Yeah. I go, Mom, Dad, I want you to meet Betsy. Clearly, we're having sex. And then Betsy will go, no, we're not.
Can you give me some pointers?
Dad, where does it go? I'm having a hard time.
All right. This is a very divisive set of snacks so far. So, Chad, where do you fall on these?
So, here's what kind of fish this is. This is the kind of fish where you meet this fish on the internet, and they send you a bunch of hot fish pictures.
Yeah.
And then, you do a bunch of like cyber fish sex with them, right? Like glub, 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 stuff like that.
What?
And then, isn't that how fish talk?
Glub, glub. Oh, yeah,
I'm with you. Keep going.
Keep going. We like it.
So then, finally, after 3 years of internet fish dating, you decide to finally go and meet up with them. And then you find out that what it used to be called catfishing is now this fucking
Cuttlefishing.
bullshit. This thing is so awful. It's this cuttlefish is horrible. Horrible. The consistency is awful. There's so much spice. You can't even taste anything. This might be in the top. Man, we tried some bad stuff, but I might put this in the top 3 worst things we've ever tried on the show. I mean, it's no Fit Crunch bar, but this is really, really bad. This is an easy hate that.
Well, Chad, you're really going to hate Robert Irvine's Cuttlefish bar that he just came out with.
So, 2 hates and a like, just some odd ratings, and the cooling chips somehow still out in front with the rating of, what did it get? A like and 2 dislikes? That's what's winning right now.
And 2 dislikes. Yeah.
There's no way some motherfucking watermelon chip is going to win this goddamn show. I'll quit. I'll fucking quit. No, I'm kidding.
All right, Geiger.
We saved
time.
the most promising stuff for the end, though, right?
Yeah, segment. So, we have talked a lot on this show about, and by show, I mean podcast, about food mascots, right? Or some of our favorites. We talked about which ones are hot, which ones have big dicks, which ones we'd have sex with. Kind of a very limited range of topics about these things. You heard a little bit from Diggum Frog earlier today. We had him stop by the studio. But I found a website, complex.com, which ranked the 25 best food or drink related mascots from commercial advertisement. And so what I'm going to do is a little contest with you guys, all 25 here. Let's see what time. We can do 5 rounds if you want. So you'll each name one, and if it's on the list, I'll write that position on the list under your name. So if you pick the 5th best one, I'll write 5. And at the end, I'll add them up, and the lowest score wins. So theoretically, you've picked the highest ranking ones.
Now, what are they defining as best?
It's just a dumb website. I don't know. It is their favorites. It's definitely not based on hottest. So to get that out of your
So
head.
where,
But
like, what are my limitations here? Is it like a restaurant one? Could it be in there? Or is it just snacks?
no,
Kids snacks?
It's commercially available foods and drinks, like snack food, cereal, cookies, candy, drinks, soda, stuff like that. It's not like fast food or anything like that.
Okay.
And then I will give you a list at the end. And we'll see how we did. But yeah, without further ado, let's start with Chad. Why don't you start us off? Unless you'd rather defer to Novak, I don't care.
That's okay. I'll start. Well, I'm going to just start off with the obvious, the stud himself, King of Kings, Tony the Tiger.
Tony the Tiger checks in at number 6.
Man, I was 100% going to say Tony the Tiger. All right. I'm going to go with one of the most famous men to our podcast. Hey, dude, where am I on the list?
Mr. Chester Cheetah is lurking creepily down at number 18.
Okay.
And I will also point out this time around, I did not leave the list on my phone. I wrote it down, so this should go a little quicker. My dad can't call me and disrupt this segment.
Are we just alternating, or are we doing it snake style?
Sure, let's do snake style. Novak, why don't you go again?
All right. We recently talked about how this guy is not really holding Kool-Aid, but just his own cum. So I'm going to say Kool-Aid Man.
You mean Cum-Aid Man? Kool-Aid Man, number 3.
Whoa.
Wow.
It's a good snag. 2 of the top 6 off the board.
Do they have to be cartoon characters, or could it be like Snap Into a Slim Jim?
Macho Man Randy Savage? Is he on there?
It's not Macho Man Randy Savage. No, he's not a food mascot.
Great.
Noted food mascot and real person.
All right. So I don't necessarily think that they're judging it based on like which ones are the funniest or whatever. Or they're probably just thinking like most iconic.
Probably like most iconic or most famous. Probably.
I'm gonna go the Honey Nut Cheerios B, whatever the fuck his name is.
He is not on here.
Oops.
You got another shot.
So that's a 26. Oh,
Yeah, that's a 26.
or do I go again?
Yeah, you snake style, so
Oh.
you're next.
Okay. All right. Well, that strategy didn't work, so let's stick with it. Tricks Rabbit.
Tricks Rabbit. Good job. Number 7. Pretty good.
Oh wow, that is high for Tricks Rabbit.
I agree. Tricks are for motherfucking kids, yo.
He's in a lot of cartoons, though.
Yeah.
Like, there are a lot of ads.
Chad
in
says
a lot of
impassively.
cartoons?
Yeah. He is?
Ads, I meant ads during cartoons. Fuck, I can't talk.
Remember that
I got
Adult Swim
Cuttlefish
show
on.
where he was like talking to Fry Guy or whatever fucking guy?
Turning Tricks Rabbit.
Remember that Adult Swim show called Mail Order Tricks Rabbit?
Turning tricks
All
in
right.
for kids.
I'm gonna go. I've got my 2. I'm gonna go with a person who seems like they're a distinguished gentleman, but actually is just a street hobo, and that's Mr. Peanut.
Mr. Peanut, number 4, Novak. Well
Wow.
played.
I'm just thinking back to our old episodes. I'm
Yeah.
snaking around. This is a little off the beaten path here.
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna go out on a limb here, and go with the Green Giant.
No. Vegetables? You get upset? No, that's a good guess, but I would have also thought he was on here, but he's not.
Okay. To start with, I'll do the Lucky Charms guy, whoever his name is.
Lucky Leprechaun is number 20.
20, damn.
So, Chad, this is you snaking around. This is your last guess.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of all I can think of is cereal ones. You know, like I feel like most mascots are cereal
Yeah.
based. What else even is there?
I will say there are a couple on here I had never heard of, but only like maybe 2.
Yeah. Do I go with the Cornflakes Rooster? No, I don't. Or the Raisin Bran Sun? No. Okay. Let's just call it with big old swinging dick himself, Ernie Keebler.
Ernie Keebler at his massive cookie dong is number 17.
Okay.
All right, Novak, yeah, one more shot.
Rough showing for me.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
gonna
you got
finish.
this,
I'm
okay.
gonna finish with the cereal guy, and Count Chocula. He seems kind
No,
of
he's not
popular.
on here.
Oh damn!
So this is actually close.
What is it?
All right.
Mr. Numbers.
Yeah. I'm gonna
He's
get
got to go get a calculator.
Yeah, I'm not. Guys, I am not Mr. Numbers. I am a man who is aware of his limitations and not ashamed
Geiger
of
was
them.
upset that one of us didn't get numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the other one
Just
just numbers 20 to
planned
25.
on counting race. All right. So Novak, you missed twice, but you also had much lower numbers. So we'll see here.
Yeah.
So to recount, all right, Chad, you have 76. So that was 26 for one, missed one. Number 6, number 7, number 17, and number 20.
Ooh, I think you might still have me.
Novak. Okay.
Yeah, because you got 52 just on your 2 misses. But-
Right.
Yeah. No, Novak got 53 because he had 3, 4, 18, and then 2 26s. Wait, no, that did not
No,
add up,
that's
right?
not
Yeah,
right.
you're right.
When you go,
my fat
you got 52, and you finished with a 53.
As I realized, I'm like, yeah, that doesn't make sense. Yeah. It was really close. 77. You lost by a point.
Oh!
So, all right. Here's the entire list.
Yeah.
We'll start from the bottom and go down. Number 25, Frito Bandito. I don't know who that is. I've never seen him used 1 second in advertising. 24 is Cool Spot, which is the name of that spot from 7-Up with the sunglasses.
Yeah.
23, hey, ladies, let me see that skin off that frog. Take a frog.
Really?
Yes. 22, I had never heard.
He's pretty popular. He's
Yeah.
banging all these chicks missionary style.
He's definitely well known throughout the advertising world as being a big coos hound. Number 22, Cheezosaurus Rex from Kraft Mac and Cheese. It's like a yellow dinosaur. I've never
What?
seen it. I don't know what the fuck that is. 21 was
Does
the
not
other one I had
exist.
never heard of. the cookie guys. Apparently, in like 2002, there was a big ad campaign with Chips Ahoy where he's talking cookies or like jumping in milk or something.
How are those
I don't know.
above some of these really popular ones we mentioned?
How did I not say the M&M guys?
We'll get
They
there.
gotta be up there.
We'll get there.
Ah,
All right.
motherfucker.
So 20 was Lucky Leprechaun. Chad got that. 19 was none other than Horatio Magellan Crunch.
Oh,
18 Chester Cheetah. 17
Oh,
Ernie
say
Keebler. 16 was the Vlasic Stork. 15
good
was
God, the
Chef
Vlasic
Boyardee.
Stork. So,
Yeah, I
who
don't.
born
it is bullshit.
born after 1960 likes the Vlasic Stork.
You know, all those people like classically associate that when they're going out and buying jars of pickles. 15.
Wait, it's named Coolest Mascots, right? Isn't that the name of it?
Best mascots, I
Oh,
said.
Best Mascots.
All right, 16 Vlasic Stork, 15 Chef Boyardee, 14 Miss Chiquita from the Bananas,
Right.
13 the California Raisins,
Mm.
12 Quickie, which is that rabbit from Nestle Quick. 11 is Punchy, who I never knew was the name of the Hawaiian Punch guy.
Oh,
I don't know how he's 11.
yeah, he sucks.
10 Mr. Owl from the Tootsie Roll Pops.
Oh, fuck, that's a good one.
Seriously? I'd never even heard of him.
1, 2, 3. 3.
I would hardly call him a mascot.
Yeah, he's from one commercial.
9 Helping Hand from Hamburger Helper. 8. Now this one I was surprised didn't get more play. My grandfather, Julius Pringle.
Oh,
That's right. Just sitting right there. 7 Trix Rabbit. 6 Tony the Tiger. 5 is Snap, Crackle, and Pop from Rice Krispies. 4 Mr. Peanut. 3 Kool-Aid Man. 2 the Poppin' Fresh, the Pillsbury Doughboy, which is pretty popular. And Chad, guess what number 1 was?
M&Ms.
Yes, the M&M Spokes Candies.
I can't believe I didn't say them. Fucking me. Oh well.
the guy at complex.com who wrote this, or lady, I guess, I don't know who, was writing it. He was writing it up, and it was just like, yeah, these M&M candies roll deep with their crew, and it says something, you don't fuck with this clique or something. Like, what the fuck? I think he's afraid of them. But yeah, so that you can check that out, complex.com. We didn't write them. If you don't agree, don't send us hate mail, you virulent assholes. But yeah, good work, guys. Well played match. Congratulations, Chad. And we'll go from there.
I can't believe it was that close.
who's gonna go check it out at that website?
Guys, how do you think we're going to get...
Go check out this dumb list that we just read you off.
How do you think we're going to get any corporate synergy here if I don't pop other people's articles and stuff? Guys, turn the podcast off right now. Go to complex.com. Don't come back and listen. You've heard everything. You don't need anything else on this. We're just going to do 2 more snacks.
Just go to your browser and type in Big'em Frog porno. And the worst part about doing these...
look up Pillsbury Doughboy Pops It Fresh.
The worst part about doing these stupid mascot things is that and invariably a day later, I get some kind of mascot porno like being texted around between us.
Novak, I'd say the worst thing is you guys getting mad at me for looking up this complex.com article and talking about it, whereas you just spent time fabricating a hottest cartoon character list, which is somehow much creepier than what I just did. So. No, Ernie Keebler's an 8 because he's got a huge swinging dick. Don't at me.
You know that's true. All right. We've got 2 snacks left to eat, and they're both cheese flavored. Let's start with the Ritz. So this is a Ritz Wafer Roll. I've never seen this product in the U.S., but it looks like something you could see here. It's very crumbly, I think. Yep, mine's crumbling all over.
Yeah, mine had exploded into a million pieces, and when I opened it, half of the bag ended up all over my floor.
Ooh, it's got a real kind of
Just gonna leave that for the ants.
nasty smell. Do you guys like Ritz or Ritz Bits?
I like Ritz crackers.
No.
I think they're good. The butter, they're like, you like shortbread. They're very buttery. But these are like cookie wafers.
Yes, Ritz are
These
so
sound
buttery.
sweet.
It doesn't smell like
Do
cheese.
you like Ritz or no?
Yeah, Ritz crackers are good, like you said, buttery.
Yeah.
But this smells like it's full of chocolate, is what I'm gonna think.
Cream cheese or something on the inside. Like,
Yeah.
why is it so sweet?
It smells really. I keep smelling it, not wanting to try it. This smells disgusting.
Yeah, it doesn't taste like cheddar cheese. It tastes like cream cheese.
I keep,
Don't mind me, guys. Just sniff this fucking tube of
I keep
shit for
smelling
2
it,
hours.
and makes me not want to eat it. It doesn't taste like cheese at all.
Smelled it right into the garbage can.
Now I got to spend the next half of the podcast picking
What
up all the
is
fucking
this?
pieces that fell all over the floor. Thanks, Allison.
It's like cheese inside a cookie.
It doesn't taste like cheese though. Ugh.
No, it's too sweet.
Ah,
Ugh. I isolated some of the cheese, and it's not good. If you have some crumbs,
oh, my favorite thing about these podcasts is when we have to work to isolate a flavor component. I've cornered the cheese. Tried to run away. Tastes like shit.
I spent hours in the lab isolating the cheese.
This is.
All right, Geiger, you're about to
Ugh.
really lay into this thing, so why don't you start?
Yeah. You know what, Ritz? I just defended you, but this is a pile of shit. This tastes bad. This is like a.
Would you say it's a pile of shits from Ritz?
Yes, I would. Thank you. I like these real-time punch-ups I get to my shit.
Yeah, just punching up your rating as you give it.
Oh, wait, hold on. All right, we'll cut that out. You know what, Ritz? This thing is a piece of crap. Oh, I fucked it up again. No, this tastes really bad. I mean, maybe
here's an alt. Here's an alt for you.
Mm.
This Ritz is gonna give me the shits. There's an alt.
Got it. Okay. This is not one of their hits. That's kind of like a non-fecal matter related joke. These are bad. I don't like. I think I'm expecting a savory snack when I open up a Ritz package, and honestly, when you look at the package, it looks almost like a combo. It looks like a pretzel roll. I was expecting like a cracker with cheese in it, and this is like a sugary wafer with cheese in it, and I can't really. I'm trying to eat it. Well, I am eating it. I'm not trying. I successfully ate it. But...
Success! You've done it.
Yay! It only took me 20 minutes of carefully sniffing it, but I'm trying to figure out where to enter it. But okay, I finished one stick. It's still terrible. I'm trying to figure out the cheese flavor, and you're right. It doesn't taste like you don't taste any.
Eat the
cheese.
other stick.
There's not an iota of salt in this snack, and for that reason, I don't. Maybe if I knew it was a candy or a cookie, like I would be all right. But this is just like that. It's way too sweet. It crumbles everywhere. It's just.
I'm watching
weird.
you. I'm watching you like a fucking hawk to make sure, see if you eat that second stick. So if you're gonna eat it, you better bend off camera.
I'm gonna tell you what. I'm gonna lay it out. This thing is a piece of shit. Oh,
You just ate the entire stick in one bite.
Oh, I'm regretting it. This is shitty. Oh.
No. All right, Chad. What do you
I'm
think?
just a sucker for a bad joke.
I think this thing made me throw a fits. No. Okay.
Jesus
Christ. Oh wait, did I? It's a hate dad. In case I didn't say it, this is really bad.
I thought you said dislike. It's a hate, and you went back.
I might have. I meant to say.
You went back for the second stick in one bite.
It was a joke, yeah, but I regret it. It's terrible.
All right.
Sorry,
Yes, there's a snack that could work here, right? Like just because it's sweet isn't the problem, but sort of the presentation doesn't go along with the flavor. And the fact that you can't even taste the cheese, like if they want to make a dessert wafer that tastes like this, fine. But this needs to be way saltier, more savory. The flavor is very off-putting. I also don't like how brittle it is. Like I said, I opened up the bag and half of it just exploded all over the floor. I don't hate them. They're not terrible, but they're pretty solid dislike that for me. They're not good.
So this snack makes me want to quit the podcast.
Well done.
Nice. Yeah.
It is just as you guys described. It's oddly sugary, and the cheese doesn't quite taste like cheese. I'm not sure if out in Thailand this is what passes for a delicious snack. But here, it doesn't cut the fucking mustard, pal. Okay.
Wow. Just dragging a whole country over this. Okay. One way to go.
No, it's just not very good. It's honestly, if you told me this was from the U.S., I'd be like, yeah, this makes sense. This is shitty enough to be sold here. So, I'm gonna give it a dislike. That it's not the grossest thing I've had. And the two people who gave it the slightly higher rating ate far less of it than the man who gave it a hate that. So
the aftertaste is so bad. Like, I'm regretting any bite I took. The aftertaste is the pits. It's just so bad.
it's the first one that absolutely nobody has liked. Of the first three snacks we split, we all liked one of them. We've got one snack left here.
Yep.
And it is the 7 Select Corn Snack Cheese flavor. And 7 Select, by the logo, looks to be what 7-Eleven is maybe called in Thailand.
Now, this has been a very negative episode overall as far as... Oh, that was a gross burp. Nice little cuttlefish flavored burp. We haven't overall really liked anything, so I really hope... I had higher hopes for these until I found out they were 7-Eleven brand. And now I'm a little concerned.
Yeah, they're 7 Select. That's like a fancy 7-Eleven, I think.
Oh, okay.
They look strange. They look like cheese-covered rocks, at least on the bag.
I think 7-Eleven in Thailand is kind of like French Laundry is here.
It's Thai laundry, yes.
I remember when I was in India, I went to the McDonald's there one day, and McDonald's actually is sort of a fancy restaurant. Like, I mean, it's exactly the same, but like the prices were kind of the same, which is really expensive for food in India. And it was sort of a weird experience to see like this shitty restaurant be kind of... You guys are already like in the middle while I'm talking, just like throwing the food down in disgust.
No, I haven't. I'm listening to your story. I just looked over. As I'm listening to you, I'm looking at you in the Skype window, and I turn over and Novak and just see that. Like, his face just...
Well, gear up, boys.
It
Prepare.
smells...
Open wide.
I have spent more time tentatively sniffing these snacks in this episode than I have in any other.
Put the entire thing in your mouth.
No.
That is the message I just got on my mail order bride.
What? You had to put the whole thing in your mouth?
Yeah, people are sending me that message. There's something about the flavor. So what it is basically like you said, a rock-sized piece of cheese. And it's kind of the consistency of a cheese puff, that the elbow-shaped cheese. But there's something about it that tastes like you took a cheese puff and just left it sit underneath a bunch of skinned frogs, and then they just like shat all over them.
Really? I was expecting a lot worse with given your face. These are not good, but they're not.
I'm not getting
They're
notes
fine.
of skinned frog.
Skinned toad,
Yeah.
maybe.
You guys liked it? Ugh.
I mean, I've eaten
it's the
6 of
powder,
them
whatever
now.
the
Say
powder
that.
is on the outside. Whatever reaction Chad had to the chili squid thing, I'm having that to this. It's something about this cheese powder that's really upsetting me.
They're very salty. There's something really salty about that. Like, the cheese is real, like, sharp and strong. That is kind of maybe what's throwing me off a little bit.
I mean, they're not good.
No.
No, no, they're not good.
Let's be clear.
They're not good.
These are not good.
All right. Easy one for me. I hate to do a couple of hates in an episode, but these are really affecting me in a negative way. So I'm going to give it a hate that. I took half a bite, didn't want to take another one, and I'm texting Allison now and ending our friendship. So send, and we're good. So Geiger, what do you think?
Wait, so
See?
you told us to take a whole bite and you hadn't even done that yourself?
Yes.
Yeah.
You wuss.
Put the whole thing in your mouth, Novak.
I always am asking you guys to do things I'm not willing to do. That's pretty much.
I remember
kind of
back
your
in
MO.
college, you used to tell me to put the whole thing in your mouth, and I wouldn't do it then either.
I wasn't willing to do it, but I figured you might.
So smooth. Yeah, these are not good. I think I was thinking they were better than they were because I saw you almost fake vomiting, and I'm like, oh man, these are gonna be tastable. And then I put it in, they didn't seem that bad, but they're not good. The aftertaste again, all these snacks they have bad aftertaste. It's really salty. The consistency is weird. It's like a rice puff covered in cheese dust, but a lot of cheese dust and salt. Not a fan. It's a dislike that. As we here at You Try to continue our time-honored tradition of scoring the most popular snacks in the world very highly and shitting over anything that's not made in America by Nabisco. But it's just not a winner for me today. But so yeah, it's kind of a dismal episode so far. Although oddly enough, I did like the chili fish or whatever it was.
All right, Chad. I'm not sure there's any way you can really pull it out of the gut. I think the melon chips are going to win here, unless you absolutely love these things, which I know you don't.
No, and I'm fine with the melon chips winning. These aren't good, but I don't think they're that bad. I ate like half a dozen or so. They're fine. They have sort of a melt in your mouth consistency that I don't know if I like, but it's fine. The flavor's fine. They're very plasticky kind of tasting. Like it's sort of that like same sort of Cheetos taste that manufactured taste that I just really am not a huge fan of. But I don't think they're really all that offensive. They're certainly a lot better than like these Cuttlefish bullshit and some of this other stuff. So I'm just gonna go middle of the road, indifferent to dad for these.
Hold on, I'm getting a phone call. What's that? Hey, dude, don't be claiming these cheese rocks are like Cheetos, dude. Now pull down your pants and put it all in your mouth. Sorry. See you, Chester. Yeah, Chester just kind of walked in here.
See you,
He got a phone call that then suddenly translated into the microphone. That's how phone calls work. It was a Skype phone call.
You really rode that through to the end.
Yep.
I like the commitment to the end of the whole bit there.
Yeah.
It wasn't just Chester. Chester was there. You were getting a phone call first. Chester was first calling, and then he said his piece. And then you said goodbye, Chester. And he left.
Look, I'm classically trained in the art of improv. I commit to an entire bit. You should have seen the 3-act play I wrote out of that. Yeah, this is pretty terrible.
Now I have a question. Say you were a mail order bride. Would you rather have been mail ordered by Chester Cheetah or Diggum Frog?
Frog. Frog is not going to do anything.
Yeah.
He just likes missionary style, which we've confirmed really is just him teaching me the word of God. So he's not going to harm me in any way. And Chester Cheetah I think has been made more than clear that he's going to be sticking things up my ass like cinnamon sticks and stuff like that. So I'm definitely not going with Chester Cheetah.
Well, he's also a cheetah. Like if he's angry, I'm fucking dead. What's this frog gonna do? Just blah and just kind of like slap me with his long tongue? It's like I'll just throw him in a basket, skin him alive, and let him wriggle around.
Wait, maybe those frogs weren't. They weren't skinless. Yeah. They were just naked. It was some kind of a erotic thing, actually, with the frogs.
Well, it wasn't officially an erotic thing, but I did blast all over the basket of frogs. So, you know. I guess I unofficially made it erotic.
That made it erotic. Yes, nothing is more erotic than
some of the world's and the culture's greatest erotica comes from middle-aged men just blasting all over something. Britney Spears' album liner was real erotica.
Yeah, YouPorn is a great website because I went and blasted all over their servers. So, you know.
Is that how that works? You went to the server farm and blasted all over the rows and rows of servers?
That's right.
This
That sounds
contains
erotic.
the porn I like. Blah.
Managed not to short out anything. Impressive.
If you guys were mail order breads,
Yeah.
what would kind of be your selling point?
Well, Chad can blast on command. So that'd be useful. Can-do spirit? I don't fucking know. I'm ugly. What do you want me to
Can-do
do? You know what? It would be my killer improv. I could do all kinds of bits, like pretending to have Chester Cheetah call me on the phone. It'd be great for role play. Oh, come here. Pull down your pants. Yeah, do it, Chester.
I mean, you do have a can-do spirit because you were willing to eat that second stick of the snack that you hated.
Yeah, that's true.
Can-do spirit.
Just for that's also for the sake of the bit. I'm like the fucking Robert De Niro of comedy sketches here. I'm just method actor all the way. Chad, how about you? What do you got going for you?
I got this bushy ass beard. That's my defining trait now.
Novak? Giant dick.
Yeah, that I guess wasn't gonna go there. I can't compete with the can-do spirit, but I mean it's something.
Sometimes it's just willingness, my friend.
I can't blast all over a bunch of circuits because I will short them out. But Chad has found a way not to, which is nice. So,
is that why Radio Shack went out of business, Chad? You were just going in there and blasting everywhere?
That was when I was working on my precision, but now I've honed it. I got lethal accuracy. I'm like a sniper with the blasting. Boom, headshot. Boom, headshot.
That's why you got the neck beard going.
We kept this podcast mostly clean.
No one's still listening. It doesn't matter.
That's right. Ever since I got the neck beard, I can really get the headshots down. It goes hand in hand.
So Geiger, for the listeners who have a can-do spirit and have made it this far, where can they contact us?
What? Well, why would they at this point? Why would they want to talk to us?
They have a can-do spirit.
Well, if you have a can-do spirit and like to reach out, go to mailorderbrides.com. We each have a profile there. We're into woodworking and walks on the beach and blasting, all kinds of good stuff like that. If you would like to reach out to us about the podcast specifically and share your thoughts on the food we've eaten, suggest foods that we should try in a future episode, or questions for the mailbag, anything like that, you can get in touch with us at youtrieddat@gmail.com. You can visit our Facebook group, You Tried Dat. You can go to hashtag You Tried Dat on Twitter. We are also available on SoundCloud, Stitcher, Instagram, YouTube, and all kinds of other great places. Very much appreciate the listenership we do have. Also, thank you very much to Allison. Although we did not enjoy the food, we definitely appreciate the effort and time it took for her to bring it all in. So thanks a whole lot for sending us some different snacks. Glad we got to try them.
Yes, thank you so much.
Yes, thank you, Allison. Allison is a good friend, and we're so glad that she listens and took the time to send us the snacks. And I wasn't gonna go here this comment, but we've already ruined the episode. So are you guys better at woodworking, so making things, carpentry, or working your wood?
I saw that coming as soon as he said woodworking. Yeah, Chad saw it coming when he blasted that server farm.
Which one are you actually better at? If you had to be subjective, I'm talking. No, I want you to answer it seriously. Which one are you actually better at?
I mean,
answer the damn question.
Worked my wood a little bit. I've not been made nary a bird feeder or whatever the fuck you do in woodworking. It was really awkward in shop class when I got the two confused, but.
So if you were to make a box with a hole, it would be more likely for you to put your dick in than for a bird to live and eat out of.
Either way, it's getting filled with seed. Yeah, what were you going to say? Bail me out here, please.
I was gonna say my woodworking experience consisted of making a sword at that at that camp, childhood camp, when they thought I was making it a cross and it turned out to be a sword. And then, but I do have plans to make a table. I'm gonna make a table sometime in the next like couple months. Just a little side table. I have plans for that. So I have a feeling that is going to be awful, but we'll see how it goes. At the very least, like if the table turns out badly, I can just blast on it and be like, "Now it's an erotic table." There you go.
Big market for erotic tables.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So
no,
Chad
how
will
about
keep
you?
us up
You're
to
not getting
date
off
all
the hook
about
here.
that side piece he's building. I made a couple things out of wood. I made a planter's bench for our yard. So I have done a little woodworking, but I've done a significant amount of jacking off. So definitely probably more skilled at that. So I would say even the best carpenter around, the best male carpenter there is still probably better at jacking off than woodworking.
Well, yeah. I mean, it depends. Like, there's your modern day carpenter. I think the one carpenter there probably was better at actual woodworking was Jesus. I don't think he worked in the old wood too often.
Okay.
But other than that,
that's what you think.
Yeah.
How else are you going to spend 3 days in a cave by yourself?
Yeah, caves are the original server farms. That's where they put all the hieroglyphics on the wall.
I mean, I guess to test your thesis, we would just have to like go like, how good at jacking off is Bob Vila? Probably like a master craftsman, right? So.
Yup. Call up Bob Vila and say, "Hey, Bob, how often you working?"
He's a master coxman, is what I heard.
This old erotic house.
Jesus
all right.
Christ.
Well, this should have ended at 15 minutes ago. So that'll do it.
When we had some dignity.
That'll do it for this episode, but we'll be back next time. We'll be trying out 3 brand new snacks.
Deuces.
Yep.